Hi everyone, Yacca here. So Quest Mage really took a hit, but don't worry, we are back, and we're back with MOZAKI Mage. MOZAKI Mage is really doing so very well at the moment, and is kind of a good replacement for what you might, the deficit that you might have seen or experienced with Quest Mage. So if you disenchanted your quest and you still really want to play mage, this could be the one for you guys. The matchups are skewed in a way that some of the aggressive matchups are a little bit difficult, but you can make do with a lot of the things that you have available as MOZAKI Mage. The requirements for it is a little bit different. It's not that much of a straightforward game plan, and you just need to find specific things, and you have a lot of time. There's a lot of actions per minute, APM requirements to you, but it is fun, and the game plan is actually still rather straightforward. Do remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. We have more decks coming out with post-nerf stuff, and I definitely want to share this with you guys, so remember to do that and ring the bell so you can see whenever something comes up. Yes, let's have a look at the deck and a little bit of a talk around the Mulligan. Here's the deck, and I'll leave a deck code in the description for this MOZAKI OTK Mage that I have right here. So the game plan is that you want to get... we're just holding off on the Mulligans just for 1 second. You want to get MOZAKI, and MOZAKI needs to be on the board, and you play a bunch of cheap spells, buffing up the spell damage of MOZAKI. Essentially ending up with you having MOZAKI with an insane amount of spell damage, like plus 11, 12, 13, and then you finish off the game with maybe a few, a Runed Orb, and also Ignite. Ignite is really the one where you have, because it's shuffled back in the deck, and even if you miss the lethal, if you shuffle back the Ignites, and they can finish off your MOZAKI, then you're guaranteed on the next turn. The idea behind the deck is that you want to get MOZAKI, and you want to play cheap stuff, and therefore also Incanter's Flow is really important, because the rest of the stuff that is in your deck will be cheaper. And MOZAKI Mage was something of the past as well. If you go way back, like half a year, 3/4 of a year, something like that, you still see a lot of videos at that point in time. But it has some more cards from more recent sets in here, which added more draw and made it even more consistent. For instance, Multicaster is from the Dead Minds mini set, and that is really great. It puts a minion on the board. It's not great stats, but your opponent is like, well, I need to do something here, or else it'll start to chip me down already. So they will usually address the Multicaster when you put it there. So it's kind of a mini armor, or if it's kind of taunt that's put in the way. Or if it's not, if it's disregarded from your opponent, and then you can use it to trade with, because you have enough damage towards the late game. And then you want to draw. So Multicaster helps you with that. Arcane Intellect as well. You still have Refreshing Springwater in here. The likelihood of you hitting Multicaster is not great. And if you hit MOZAKI with Refreshing Springwater, yes, all the more power to you. In the Mulligan, there's one specific game plan you want to go for. There's only 2 cards you want to keep, and that's Incanter's Flow and MOZAKI. Mulligan the rest away, because the rest of the deck is small removal, AoE, and draw. So you want to use your Mulligan in the best way possible to try and catch one of those 2 cards. So that's the general game plan. One thing you have to be careful about when you drop MOZAKI: count out the spell damage, so you do not overdraw yourself for like 80 or whatever damage. That is unfortunately a possibility towards the late game. So track your hand size. You can hear me talking about that in the games to come. Figure out not to overdraw, or if you overdraw, you need to make sure that you have the damage that you need in your hand. Use your opponent's turn to plan as well. Use your own turn. Don't be too scared about roping out, because you need to really plan out your turns of what you need to do. And I think we will have some explanations. You will be able to see that when we get into that. The only thing about the Mulligan that you have to be mindful of is that you actually, against Warlock, you could actually consider throwing back MOZAKI. Because you have enough draw, you really want to discount, that is the main driver behind the deck. You really want to discount the deck. So there you can opt for throwing MOZAKI back. Because I can see from the stats it's very low on the Captain Mulligan win rate, even though we are keeping it a lot in the Warlock matchup. One thing to be mindful of is that is when the Warlock is not Sue, but it's only around 10-12% of the meta at the moment which has a Sue list from whoever is using deck trackers. So like 85-90% of the time it's gonna be a fatigue warlock or quest warlock in some instance, and there you do not really need MOZAKI, because the likelihood of you actually getting to the bottom of your deck is rather big, and they usually damage themselves quite substantially over the course of the game. So having responses to this, discounting your cards and all this is more relevant than keeping MOZAKI, and eventually you will have the combo. I think that is an offset around that. Gameplay is simple, execution is somewhat difficult, but getting some tries in, this could be the new high tier mage deck, but it requires some rehearsal, and I urge you to do it if you want to play mage. This is actually quite good. Let's have a look at the games.
Jaina versus Elise.
Class is in session. Don't pull the wool over my eyes.
I'm definitely keeping MOZAKI. I just want to look for Incanter's Flow. Then I have some good options to control the board a little bit. Really just draw and stuff like that, and use my ignites early to shuffle them back in the deck and then discount them with Incanter's Flow. That'll be perfectly fine. Then that is Anaconda.
The storm blade
A variation that I'm not completely aware of yet. Okay. Let's just do this. Might be that we discover Incanter's Flow. I can take a hit of 4. Potion Evolution, that's new. Brain Freeze, that's okay. Well, I guess he will. Well, it's not the way I win. I just want to stall. He's just gonna hit me. Then we're gonna ignite his face and brain freeze. Maybe we're just gonna draw. Actually, job's done. And then we can draw again and brain freeze on the next turn. Refreshing is good for the next turn. This, I want to damage him if I can. This one is also good. I have not played a fire spell yet, but 2 draws is fine. Incanter's Flow. Guess I can take 8. But do I need to? Do this and ping. Could even drop a minion. Maybe he's do enough, but I really want to freeze him if that is the case. Maybe I could actually have shuffled in the ignite. I think the order should have been that I used an ignite instead of my hero power and then shuffled it in to discount it. This one. Make sure that I do not overdraw. Okay. I'm getting close now. My freeze is my fear of flurries.
Magic? I've heard of it.
That's nice when we get to that point. That is fine, we can do this. I'll freeze this guy. I'm getting close now. It's not dropped any more minions. Could wait one more turn if I get a flurry. We're definitely doing this first. That alone might buy me a turn. Then refreshing. Really would like that flurry, honestly speaking.
Out on me.
I think we're fine doing this. And then roll. Anyway, we're gonna set up lethal for the next turn. The only mistake I made this game was the ignites. And then if he does get Cenarian Ward, it's going to be a little bit more iffy. Well, we should be able to get there anyway. That's fine. That is fine. So we can do the 30 damage. I need to shuffle this in towards the very end. Go time.
Who's ready for a little show?
Freeze out. Should have shot that one first. 3 cards. So we can do this. That'll be exact.
Runs out on me.
9 cards. Way too much. 12. Let's do this. That and this one. should be guaranteed on the next turn. They need to deal with both this one, and then I still have enough that I should be able to draw into it. And then again, the only real mistake here is that I did not shuffle in the Ignite when before discount, and then we're just there. Maybe not an honorable kill, but
Jaina versus Anduin.
A just cause is always worth fighting for.
Don't pull the wool over my eyes.
throw these guys back. I would really like to get in the, instead of saving draw, I'd like to use the Mulligan in order to try and get the cards that I want. So skipping out, saving draw to skip out on a Mulligan draw is, and keeping draw, it's not worth it. Then we can bank mana here. If we end up doing nothing else but that. Great, manage some small minions. And I'll save the coin as long as I can, because that might push stuff up a turn. I'll just bank some more mana, unless we get Incantus Flow. We don't. Saving the cram session. Yep. And we might need to invest the coin in Refreshing Spring Water. No, good. I have something to use my... haven't played a Frost. Do that one, and coin, and this. Then we draw 3. And I've used 3 cards, so that's what we're gonna do. And this one, oh, is there room? There is. Because we're just gonna drop this one.
Magic. I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. We might as well keep it, because he's frozen, he can't do anything right now. I don't need to make hand space at this moment, because there's no forced draws run by my opponent. It's not in the meta at all. That would be an insane tech, because MOZAKI Mage is not really prevalent at the moment. And I can use the second flame to get rid of that one. I'm gonna use this first. I guess we can to get some draws in. Let's do this. Oh, Incantus Flow. That's nice. We did get it. I just need MOZAKI now. Let's see if we can find a smaller, small spell damage minion. Because then we can invest, if we do 2, draw the other cram session, we can invest 1 of them. I really only need 1, also because we are halfway through the deck now. Yeah, let's do this. Should we... Can get rid of that one. It's not really helping him in any way. He might get it back at some point. And let's see if we can find an Incantus Flow this way. I can also, there's an Incantus Flow. And I guess we can do this. And we do get MOZAKI. So I guess I could do it on the next turn, but if there's no immediate threats played from his side. Or 2 turns where he sets up a cult neophyte. That's kind of the disruption that I should be worried about. Then we just play in Kansas Flow and yeah, that one is not really that much of a concern, just as long as I do not kill it. Just freeze it.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can. Do we need to shuffle in anything else? No. Draw first, yes. So we'll just drain freeze it, that's fine. Then shuffle that one. I don't really want to give him the armor, but it's not all that relevant. That one is just spell damage, and I don't really need it. And Rude Orb. Okay, so we got the setup. And then we just need to just be a little bit careful about the cram session. Oh, that's the only card draw I actually have. It gets him up to 38. We go in, right. We shuffle first. Actually don't even need to yet.
What to do? What to do?
Maybe we just thin out the hand a little bit. Let's see which ones we hit, and then we use the last one. There we go. Because I really want to make a little bit of space. This is luxury for me. I'm just playing with him more or less. Because it will draw me a lot of cards to cram session. And having a full hand, I need to do a lot of hand management. Now he's even helping me with the self-damage. 34 shouldn't be a problem at all. Especially with 2 ignites in the deck, which are free. Right. So now we go in. 7 left.
Who's ready for a little show?
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll shuffle it. 5. Discover some stuff here as well. Come on. Another ignite. Fine. And 7 cards. That's gonna overdraw me 1, 8, 3. That's 6 points of damage. That's fine. It's just a matter of me going through the motions. What really is the trick here is that getting the discovers in and getting this turn started when you set yourself on now, it's lethal. That's kind of what you want to go for. But it was over here. Thanks for watching, guys.